Good morning. My name is Sharon Jaske, and I'm here to talk about Lincoln Charter Township in Berrien County, Michigan. Lincoln Charter Township is located on the southwest corner of Michigan, along Lake Michigan shoreline, on the Interstate I-94 corridor between Chicago and Detroit. It's right here in this little bitty lower corner right here. It has a gorgeous landscape, including sandy beaches, rocky bluffs, and rolling hills. It was an early settlement of the Native American Potawatomi people and the early fur traders. It was officially chartered in 1827 by Major Tim Smith, who took advantage of the abundant lake resources and beneficial growing climate to create a thriving community centered on fruit cultivation. It now has 14,000 people, including those living in the village of Stevensville. What is a township? A township predates the state of Michigan. State rules state that a township must consist of an elected board officials, including a supervisor, a clerk, a treasurer, and 2 to 4 elected board trustees. Michigan Constitution recognizes townships as corporate entities with the rights to sue and be sued, having authority of corporations provided by common law, as opposed to unincorporated units of government that must rely on state statute for all the powers to enforce contracts. Lincoln Charter Township has the duty to collect taxes and administer assessment and elections. It has limited taxing authority, and as a chartered township, it succeeds authority to the village of Stevensville, but it protects it from further city annexation, calling this the home rule. It's not burdened by the repair and maintenance of roads, as roads have been transferred to the county road commissions. There's no need for special purpose districts, as schools are independent school districts, and civil and criminal courts reside in districts rather than the townships. Townships may choose other functions, and we're fortunate that Lincoln Charter Township has chosen to have a professional fire and police protection, a lively active library, 8 schools, and 12 parks, among other benefits. It enjoys a history of financial stability. Audited financial statements recorded for March of 2012 showed assets of $13.1 million, 41% comprised of land, buildings, and sewer and water lines. Revenues were recorded at $5.9 million, and these revenues came from property taxes, fees and licenses, and state revenues. Expenses totaled $6.3 million, out of which $3.6 million were for direct government activities, and $2.7 million were from business activities. I know I said they were in financial standing, in good financial standing, and this reflects a $400,000 deficit. It was really unusual to reflect a deficit, and it is directly related to a one-time expense for an aggressive expansion of a sports complex. Lincoln Charter Township is located in Berrien County. Tempered by the lake effect climate, Berrien County is at the heart of Michigan's fruit belt. It leads all of Michigan in the production of peaches, pears, and grapes. It's second in the production of apples, plums, and prunes, and is fourth in the production of cherries. It's gaining recognition in beer and wine production, and its local community college, Lake Michigan College, recently added a viticulture program to its curriculum. Berrien County is home to several large corporations, including the Lakeland Healthcare System, which is the largest, employing 3,600 people, Whirlpool Corporate Headquarters, which employs 3,200 people, and Indiana Michigan Power Company, which is actually Cook Nuclear Power Plant, which employs 1,200 people. These professional organizations allow for professional and skilled labor employment, so that the most common profession in Berrien County for men was engineering and management, and for women it was secretary administrative assistant and elementary school teacher. It was interesting to note that public administration was listed for women at 4%. These corporations also allow for the median household income to be at $55,000 and the median house value at $180,000. Looking at the Michigan poverty distribution by county, you see that the economic recession has hit Michigan particularly hard. Poverty rate distributions reveal that only 11 counties are below the 12% poverty rate. 27 counties, including Berrien County, which is down here in this corner, fall between 16 to 18%, with 83% of the counties between 16 and 24%. So 83% of the counties fall in these two categories. You can see over here near Detroit, Michigan, there's a few wealthy counties, and the poorest counties are right here in the middle of the state. These are rural communities. National average was 14.6% to 15.1%, depending on which resource you used. Berrien County and the state of Michigan was higher. Michigan was 15.4%. Looking at the population growth, you can see that Michigan experienced some steady population growth here in the early 90s. In the late 90s and early 2000s, peaking in 2004 at 10,055,315 people. But by 2010, the state had lost over 171,000 citizens. And this is a topic of pretty national interest right here. Berrien County has seen an alarming decrease in this time period. A 3.49% overall growth loss, losing 5,678 residents over the same period. While Lincoln Charter Township has seen a 5.23% population growth, adding 1,087 residents, while the county and state struggle to keep their populace. Lincoln Charter Township grew from 13,604 residents in 1990 to 14,691 in 2010. Families are getting smaller as more people are having fewer babies. Lincoln Charter Township is losing populations in all age groups under 19 years of age and those between 30 to 49 years, while it's increasing in population for nearly all age groups over 50. This tells me that the township could benefit from looking very closely at its aging population, as this could have significant impact on healthcare, transportation, and housing needs, and could have negative implications on school enrollment. The population pyramid allows for visual insight into the internal characteristics of the community. This pyramid is divided with males on the left and females on the right, divided into 5-year intervals. Those years between 0 and 14 we consider the pre-productive age, and 15 to 44 are considered the productive age, and 45 and above is the post-productive age. The township has less population in this productive age and more in the pre-productive age, meaning as this group ages, the population will grow. As this group ages in and becomes into the reproductive stage, it will grow the population if the township can retain its young professionals and young families. Low birth rates are reflected in the narrow base here at the bottom, most likely due to increased educational opportunities for women and the desire for smaller families. Notice the sex disparity as the population ages. This is reflecting that women typically outlive the men. Township residents highly value education. Including in its boundaries is Lakeshore High School, Upton Middle School, and 4 elementary schools, along with 2 parochial schools. These schools together educate 3,000 students with an average teacher ratio of 19.5 to 1. Lakeshore High School boasts of a 94% graduation rate and is ranked 54th among 608 Michigan school districts. Less than 22% of the students qualified for free or reduced lunches. Lakeshore High School Band was invited to the 70th anniversary of the D-Day celebrations in Normandy, France, and opportunities to earn college credit while in high school are available through the Community College, Lake Michigan College Early College program. Berrien County's unemployment rate is very similar to the state of Michigan. Both experienced robust employment in the late 90s, with low unemployment rate peaking at less than 4% in 2000. Michigan was hit harder than the county, with its highest unemployment at 14% in 2009. Slow and steady recoveries with current unemployment rates at 8%, still twice that of 2000. The township outperforms both the county and the state in its labor force participation in each age group. 21% of Michigan's population between the ages of 20 to 59 are not in the labor force, compared to 16% for Berrien County and only 13% for the township. Between the ages of 25 to 54, which would include those recent college graduates, the township enjoys an 86% participation rate, with Berrien County enjoying an 83% participation rate and Michigan an 81% participation rate. Looking at the employment by industry, we can see that Berrien County had a reduction in employment from 86,967 employees in 2000 to 81,429 in 2011. Michigan during the same period had a reduction in employment from 5,508,000 to 5,139,000, or a 6.7% loss in employment. Mining, real estate, including rental and leasing, and non-farm proprietors grew the most, but looking at each sector to determine where the losses were. Manufacturing lost employment nationally, even while the U.S. employment grew by 6.5%. Michigan lost the most at 37%, and the national loss at 26%. But where exactly were these losses? I wanted to break it down a little bit further. I went in and looked at full and part-time employment for manufacturing for the same time frame. Of course, I expected to see the auto industry's impact on these numbers given the current economic situation. Leather acted as a large supplier to the auto industry, and you can see its effect right here. When the auto industry started falling, it fell as well. But what caught my eye was this glimpse of hope over here in the beverage and tobacco. Beverage and tobacco, so I went to explore that a little bit further. Come to find out, sales of Michigan craft beers increased from 11.2 million in 2007 to 22 million in 2010. The U.S. now has 1,753 craft breweries, the highest since the 1800s. And the fastest growing among these is Short's Brewing Company, located in Bel Air, Michigan. Beer saves the day. Lincoln Charter Township remains largely a white community. With such little ethnic diversity, statistics show staggering results in the percent change in Hispanic, Asian, and African American cultures. Those double and triple digits reveal very small increases in actual population. All three geographical areas saw a decrease in the white population, with the township being the highest at 3.3% loss. Berrien County experienced an overall decrease of 3.8% for the black population, while the township saw an increase, and Michigan remained the same. I would be amiss if I only spoke of county and township diversity without mentioning the diversity issues in the surrounding border towns. Located here on this map, the St. Joseph River separates the two towns of St. Joseph and Benton Harbor. This is the river here. Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, Lincoln Township is down here. Formidable racial tensions among the residents of these two cities have been the subject of many news articles, including a recent New York Times article and a Chicago Politics City and Life article. The financial struggles of Benton Harbor have garnered attention of the state of Michigan, which hired an emergency manager to handle the town's struggling financial affairs. This in turn garnered additional national attention from MSNBC's news correspondent, Rachel Maddow. Though the township more closely reflects the predominantly white St. Joseph community with 95.6% white population, Benton Harbor consists of only a 7% white community and 89.2% black community. The township fortunately sits quietly down here, while the adjoining towns contend with this national attention. After reviewing all of this data, I met with the chair of the Planning Commission to prepare the SWOT analysis for the city. I list the strengths as those that I talked about: the financial stability, the educational systems, labor participation, and professional services. And I list weaknesses as the diversity, the attraction of young families, and a willingness to change these two factors. We didn't talk much about the opportunities, but the undeveloped exit 23 off Interstate 94 provides access to Lincoln Township and its sister community of St. Joseph. St. Joseph is a tourist destination with sprawling popular beaches, the senior PGA tournament, and Whirlpool corporate headquarters. Proper planning, thoughtful development, and well-designed businesses could take advantage of the non-residential traffic that flows to and from these destinations. While St. Joseph's absorbs the tourist activity, Lincoln Township could benefit from developing their own beaches for their residents to enjoy. Threats to the community. The state of Michigan's struggling economy and decrease in population present obstacles that are difficult for local entities to overcome. Tighter state-level finances mean more competition for funding and tighter restrictive government controls. An additional threat to the community is the aging population. Though this aging population is small, it could bring significant future challenges to the school systems and the services and amenities enjoyed by an older population. Keeping in mind that what one perceives as a weakness, another may perceive as a strength, Lincoln Charter Township is a predominantly well-to-do, white, educated community that spends little time and resources promoting activities to attract a young or diverse family. Some perceive this as a good thing and consider growth and development in surrounding towns such as St. Joseph as a threat. In my opinion is that community growth and business development is central to planning, and I listed such development as opportunities on the SWOT analysis. If your sentiment is that Lincoln Charter Township is a bedroom community today and will continue to be 30 years from now, and you wish to leave it that way, you may perceive this analysis totally different. Thank you.